Yes.
And I hope you can give me some really deep answers.
Uh-oh.
So I wanted to know if you had any advice for me and my fellow seniors as we prepare on our pathway for college and careers.
Yeah, so you have the great advantage of access to information, and I'm going to say free. So, when I was growing up, and I think, going to places like a library, you were limited by only the books on the wall. Today you have access to digital information. So the first thing I would say is, if you're curious about something, go do the work and go do the research. So that's point number one, and then be, tenacious in pursuing the exploration of that. And sometimes say, oh, well, that door is closed. There are often many more doors that you just have to go find, or windows that you can go into to actually explore what your passions are. Remain curious. I mean, always, think about, even in my, age, I'm still curious about a bunch of things and spend time at night looking up and researching and trying to figure out, well, how does that actually work? One of the things we're focused on across our portfolio companies is, artificial intelligence and, blockchain. Well, how is that going to affect, business and economy? And if you're not curious, then I think a good part of the excitement of life goes away. So, again, it's funny. One of my kids was asking me, well, if you could be anybody, who would you be? I said, I'd be our youngest child. And they're like, why would you do that? And I said, because there's so much more possibility. And so when I think about you all as high school students, this is the greatest time in the history of the planet to be a high school student, in all honesty. You have access to resources, you have access to computing power, you have access to some of the greatest minds on the planet and thoughts on the planet, and you just have to decide to go tap into it and then take that and move that forward. So that's the advice I'd give you.